If you're running ads on Facebook and Instagram and you want to know how your ads perform compared to your competitors, then this video is for you. I'll show you how your competitors are performing on average across all critical KPIs, what it will mean if you're underperforming on any of those KPIs, and how to fix it step by step. So the big question we're trying to answer here today is, are you over or underperforming with your Facebook and Instagram ads? Comparing yourself to your competitors will help you understand where you're over or underperforming, right? Is your ad performance weak? Is your targeting off? Is your landing page not properly optimized? Understanding if you're over or underperforming in any of those areas will help you guide your focus. If your ads are overperforming but your conversion rate is underperforming, you don't need more content and ads, although everyone is telling you to. Now, a quick shout out to WordStream, VROAS, and Lebesgue for some of the data that we were able to curate when we did our research. And obviously, we have our own proprietary data set over at Adamigo AI. So a lot of ad accounts that we used for training purposes back in the days provided us with a lot of information as well. So here's a quick breakdown of the individual industries and the performances. So CTR is your click-through rate, your CPCs is your cost per click, so how much do you have to spend to get someone to visit your website. Conversion rate is how many of your website visitors actually convert and take the action you want them to take. Mind you, depending on industry, this conversion rate could be a sale or could be a lead conversion, right? And then you have the cost per acquisition, which again could be a lead or could be a sale. So attorneys and legal services are typically leads. Beauty and personal care brands are typically conversions or cost per purchase. And so I hope this provides you with a nice overview if you are over or underperforming on any of those metrics. Another metric that could be interesting is CPMs, so cost per 1,000 impressions. So this will tell you how much you have to spend to get in front of 1,000 eyeballs, right? In the United States, for example, you have to spend $20 to get in front of 1,000 eyeballs. If you can manage to spend $10 to get in front of 1,000 eyeballs, you'll see and you'll reach so much more people, and you can afford more inefficiencies in your ads, right? If fewer people click, fewer people convert, but you reach more people altogether, you might still be profitable. So higher CPMs put a lot of pressure on you to do a real good job in terms of getting people to engage and to visit and to buy. Factors, or the biggest factor on CPM is the country you target, is the location you target. And you can see here the United States and Canada, as some of the most competitive markets out there, have notably higher CPM costs. Whereas if you advertise in lower competition markets, you see a lower CPM cost. Now, you might see those metrics and ask yourself, okay, but where am I? Like, how am I performing in comparison to those, right? So I'll show you quickly in the ad account. If you navigate into the ad account on Facebook, you can click into columns and perform, then click into customize columns. You can clean this up if you want to, and then you can select here the metrics that we are looking at right now. So CTR is a metric you're looking at. You can also have outbound CTR, which are the clicks onto the website. You can have your CPM costs. You can have your landing or cost per clicks, right? Cost per click. Link click is important. So not just a click on the ad, but on the actual link. You can also build conversion rate actually in here. So if you build a custom metric right here, get started, you can then basically take your leads event or your purchase event, and then you take your landing page views, okay? And then you change this to a percentage value and you give it a name, conversion rate, create metric. You have this metric right here as well, conversion rate, right? And then you can also go for your cost per lead, if that's the event you're optimizing for. And for purchase, you can go for your cost per purchase, go right here and cost. And now you see all those metrics right here. Top right, you can choose the time frame. I will go for something that's representative. So last 30 days or last 60 days tends to be quite representative. And then you have the data right here and you can compare yourself. If going through the tables and spreadsheets is a little bit too much heckmeck for you, we built a free Meta Ads performance benchmark tool over at Adamigo AI. So when you head on over to Adamigo AI under free tools, you'll find the tool listed there, or you head into a /ad-performance-benchmark tool, and you'll get the tool right here. You fill out some of the answers and you'll get a perfect and clean score on how you perform compared to your competitors, so you know what to optimize. Now, if you understand now where you're overperforming and where you're underperforming, what do you do with that data, right? In the end of the day, we looked at three things. We looked at CTR, CPM, and cost per acquisition / conversion rates. And so we can attack those individual areas. So what should you do if you have a high CPM, high cost per 1,000 impressions? I have to say upfront, this is the hardest metric to attack. Engagement rates, conversion rates, they are much more structured and cleaner. CPM has a lot to do with the algorithm over at Facebook, and sometimes you just cannot really control it. However, you can align yourself with the algorithm and therefore be in a favor position and get a lower CPM in return. So the first thing to do is the country you advertise in has a massive impact on your ads, right? So what you can do is you can go in here, you can go into breakdowns, you can go into country, and then you'll get a breakdown. Oh, this ad account is inactive, but you'll get a breakdown of these metrics by country. And so you can see, okay, which country brings the highest return on ad spend, the lowest cost per lead, but is sort of underspending. I'm not spending a lot of money in that market right now. And so I can create a dedicated target audience targeting that country, maximize sort of that performance trend I'm seeing. Obviously, if you're an AdAmigo customer, you can just go into the chat agent and ask it, what country do you see has high performance and low spend? It'll tell you, and then you can ask it, okay, can you now go ahead and create a dedicated strategy for it with target audiences and ads? And it will run the research and it will create it all into the ad account for you. I mean, that's the world we live in right now with AI, but the manual way is like that. Then increasing your target audience size is another vector you can attack. So the smaller the audience size, the harder it will be for the Facebook algorithm to find other pockets of audiences within that audience that might be a bit less competed against at the moment, and you have higher conversion probabilities on those, right? Now note, it takes a lot of data on your pixel and in the ad account to sort of make larger audiences work. That's even true in the Andromeda update, I have to say. So if you have, more than, let's say, 200, 300 purchases tracked on your pixel and you're advertising for a couple of weeks already, you can try to increase the audience size. So that can be just enabling Advantage Plus. So you have just open targeting. It can be that you remove the lookalikes or interest targetings you have, or you add more interest in the targeting. I can make a whole video on that if you want to. Just let me know below and I'll make it happen. Or if you use AdAmigo, you just ask it to, right? Hey, here's my audience, or can you find my audiences? Can you come up with ways to increase audience size? And then ask it to do it, and it will do that. And then increasing the engagement scores on your ads, that's quite important. Facebook is a social media network. The more people see your ads and engage with your ads, the more valuable you are to their ecosystem. So you have to make your content engaging and fun and great to look at. So make sure you just really optimize your ads. I'll show you in just a second how you can go about and do that. And then ensure good user feedback. Facebook is sending out surveys to all of your customers and leads, and they're asking, what was the product quality like, the service quality like, how fast did the product ship? Those are some of the questions they ask. If customers are unhappy about the product or service they have received, they will let Facebook know, and so Facebook will start giving you bad score on your page and on your business portfolio, and you end up getting less and less reach, and they make your ads more and more expensive as a result. So those are some of the ways you can attack CPMs. Then CTR, that's an easy one to attack. I could make an entire video series on how to boost engagement score on your ads. Again, if you're interested, let me know. So the CTR in the end of the day means your ads are just not engaging enough. They're not getting attention, they're not getting clicks, no one wants to engage with them. There's so many ways you can go about it. The very first way is make sure that you have the right ratios. 4:5 ratio is much more visible in the feed, more people will click. Make sure you also have a 9:16 ratio for stories and reels. Whenever AdAmigo designs new ads, right, it will automatically have a version in 4:5 for Facebook and Instagram feed, and then it will have a 9:16 version for stories and reel placements. So make sure you do the same. Then obviously also the colors you use, bright colors, dark colors, they are more engaging than white, for example. We see much lower click-through rates on those. Video ads get higher click-through rates. One more thing you can do is you can head on over to what's called the Facebook ads libraries. Then make sure you select all countries, all ads, and then you can choose a business you want to investigate. So let's take our business, AdAmigo AI, and then you can see all the ads that these guys are running, right? And you can see a lot of video ads, just a little image ads, and you can kind of see which ads I'm running in here. And so you can kind of get inspired by that, right? Find your favorite brands and get inspired by their ads, and you can sort of boost your CTR that way. And then the low conversion rate, I mean, this is again something we could make a whole conversation and a whole video series on, which is how to boost conversion rate of my website. Do some research on conversion rate optimization. What you can do nowadays, you can head on over to your website, you take a screenshot of that website, go into ChatGPT and ask, hey, if you're a conversion rate optimization expert, what should I do to boost conversion rate on my website? You can also look into your competitors, right? So if you go back into the ads library, you click on see ad details, I can click on this and I can see what landing page they're sending the traffic to. And I can then take a look at how they've structured it and do the same. You'll see, especially in e-commerce at the moment, listicles and articles and comparison sites and video sales letter landing pages do really well at the moment. So get inspired by that. Also, this is something I see way too many people freak out too soon on, which the conversion rate, right? So very often, I see conversion rates double or triple within a week or 2 weeks time, and nothing has changed. But what has happened? Retargeting has happened. So when you first start advertising, everyone who hits your website is new. They're brand new, they don't know who you are, and the conversion rates are much lower as a result. If someone is now visiting your website for a second or third time, they must have had some sort of serious interest and they're much more likely to convert, and so your conversion rate will go up. So if you just start advertising and you see a conversion rate of 1% or 2%, don't freak out. All these benchmarks also that I have given you here, 3%, 4%, 5%, are not on new visitors. They're on all visitors. And so your conversion rate will go up over time. If you're running ads for a month or two, you also have some retargeting in the account and you're still below the benchmark, then you have to focus on conversion rate optimization. Very, very critical. Again, if you want to set up retargeting, you can go into YouTube, find a video, or fire up Adamigo, click on build a retargeting strategy. And then the AI agent will basically walk you through that process step by step. I hope this was valuable. I'm obviously trying to squeeze in a lot of content in a short amount of time, but I hope you got tons of value from this video. There were some new video ideas, so if you want to see some other content, just let me know in the comments and I'll go ahead and record it for you guys right away. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.